hair.
I need a new thread.
What the heck? Who did this to me?
Back.
It's the Game 11 press conference featuring the Huskies of the University of Washington, joined by head coach Heather Tarr, student athletes Julia DuPont, Tristan Mel Hart, and Taryn Alvello. Coach Tarr, you guys are now 42-3 when you score first, and have outscored your opponents 65-9 in the first inning. Is that a point of emphasis for your offense, and how important was it, especially to put Oklahoma behind the 8 ball right away?
Kind of wondering when we lost 3 games when we scored first. That kind of sucks, but it's okay. We've learned a lot this year. I think our team really has grown over the last 4 years from these seniors' freshman year, learning, figuring out just how to create momentum, how to sustain momentum within a game. And those numbers that you just said speak to their knowledge of the game and their experience and the lessons they've learned. They've learned some hard lessons, and, you know, just try to stay like pitch to pitch and be in the moment to try to create momentum for the University of Washington to win games.
Questions for Coach or the student athletes, please?
Taryn, can you just talk about your day? Shut out the Sooners, 7 hits, no walks. Just what was working for you?
I don't think it was so much that things were working for me. I think it was things were working for us as a team. And I knew what my part was, and I knew I had to go out there and execute. I owe it all to these people that are sitting next to me and the rest of the team, because no matter how good I pitch, sometimes it's just not enough. And the love and everything I get from every single one of these people is what keeps me going. And at this point in the season, it's all or nothing.
Jerry Lee Willis Jr., the College Sports Report. Coach, on Thursday, you've seen Oklahoma from afar, then you get a shot. Now today, you had your chance to go back, muscle memory, mentally. What did you all talk about before the game and then during the game?
It's a good question. I don't know if there's one answer to your question, but I think at this point in time of seasons, you're using your language that you become accustomed to using, whether it's like internal speak about how we're going to approach a certain pitcher, just inside language, and they're communicating amongst each other, and they're really trying to embrace an attitude of 21-on-1. And it's not necessarily the opponent, it's just that moment, 21 people on that pitch. And that's really all we're trying to do. Now, different opponents pass through us, and, you know, you see many people a lot at this time of year. You know, you run into common opponents, and that's helpful, but it's just more about us than it is about any one person or opponent that we're facing.
Let's go here.
Madison Morris, the Franchise Sports. Tristan, you had that incredible catch in the top of the 5th. Can you just kind of talk about what you saw out there and how important the defense was today?
Yeah, same as the other catch. I knew there was runners on, so I was either going to have to throw somebody out or catch the ball. And, you know, your instincts just kick in that moment, and you just go for it. And luckily, I caught the ball, and I knew if I didn't that my center fielder, Kelly, would be behind me to back me up.
Katie?
Katie Barnes, ESPNW. Tristan, I know that you sort of just walked through what those catches, how those actually worked, but what did they mean to you coming up big on both of those plays?
Yeah, it's awesome. I can't really explain it. I'm just happy that I could perform for my team and hold them to not getting a run so we could keep the mo and just keep scoring runs and help us win that game.
Julie, can you talk about 3 hits, the big knock late in the game? What did that last home run feel like for you?
I just think that this whole week has been a process for me, and this whole year has been a process just about hitting and stuff. You know, you're nervous. There's a lot of people out there. It's like a home crowd for them. The first 2 days I was a little jittery and nervous, and then I just you know, went internal. I was like, okay, you can do this. You've been here, and, you know, I've played my whole life. But collectively as a team, we just made loud outs, and we had them the whole time, and now just trying to get, you know, our defense and our pitching just another run, so she didn't have to worry about that.
Merritt behind the plate for the 3 players. Was there ever a moment during the season where you guys kind of knew, we're going to make it to the championship series?
Taryn, let's start with you.
think as the season grew, the feeling it's more of it's becomes a want and a need. You know, it's survival of the fittest when you come here, and I feel like, you know, Coach Tar touched on it. Like these seniors, their freshman year to now, they have led us in how much it takes to get here, and they've showed us the ropes, and they've, you know, taught us everything we needed to know. And so it kind of all comes together and it all clicks at a certain point. And you don't really know what that feeling, like what that exact time is until, you know, you get here and you realize you've done it.
Tristan?
Yeah, I would just go off what she was saying. Going throughout the season, it just gives you confidence after your wins, your at-bats, making loud outs like Julia was talking about. And like she said, there's not really a certain point or a certain moment where you feel like you deserve to be here, you deserve to win. We just keep playing tough, keep playing Husky softball, and it's got us where we are, and we feel like we can continue getting further.
Julia?
We're just playing Husky softball. We've been playing Husky softball all year long. We've had a couple of losses that were, you know, a little rough along the way, but I think that helped us a lot. But we're here because we're playing Husky softball, and that's, you know, what's led us here is that, you know, now we're working together, and now it's like we're all together, and that's, I mean, that's it. That's why we're here, and it's not really a feeling. It's just we're playing Husky softball.
It's always a team effort every time.
If I kind of follow up on that, for all three players actually coming out of the Oregon series and the UCLA series, you talk about just playing Husky softball. What did you take out of those series? How did you move forward from those games to where you are right now?
Start with Tristan.
We kind of do a debrief after every weekend, so we talk about what we did well, what we can do better, and there's always things that we're going to be able to do better on, and we just bring that into the next weekend and into the World Series, and we capitalize on those moments and just continue to work the process.
Julia?
You learn more from losses sometimes than you do from wins, and I think that's what we learned a lot, you know, through those 6 games, and it was back-to-back, so it kind of stung, but sometimes losses don't feel like losses, you know, you learn from it, and we learned a lot from that. We learned that, you know, this game is only one pitch at a time, you know, one pitch away, 1 inch. This game is a game of inches, and so we learned more than, you know, if we would have won those games, so I think it made us stronger.
Taryn?
I feel like they said it. kind of. We're here because of everything that's happened, not even in this past season, but seasons before us, even before we got to college. The games that we've watched, the games that we've learned from growing up playing, and, you know, ultimately, I mean, it's why we're here. So, people before us.
John McEvoy with the Norman Transcript. I have a question for Taryn and Heather. They came into the World Series averaging about 5 walks a game, and they've made so many pitchers give up against them, yet you guys issue no walks over 2 games against them. I mean, why were you guys able to hang in there?
Coach Tar?
I think it just speaks to the confidence that our team has in each other and the point that we're at in the season. Our pitching staff, I think, prides themselves on not only momentum, but achieving outs however we can get them. You know, we're not so fragile that we have to strike everybody out. Obviously, our defense speaks for itself in terms of, you know, creating energy behind each pitcher and having the ability to get outs with, you know, any way possible. But I think it gives the pitchers a lot of confidence. Oklahoma's a great team. You know, it's a team we look up to. It's a team that has done so much amazing stuff as a program that you almost don't want to think about, you know, them as an opponent because they are so good and they are tough, and all those players, you know, everybody wanted those players in the recruiting battle, and we got ours and they got theirs, and we're all just facing off against each other. But it's just that our pitching staff is very connected, very tough, and it's not just Taryn and Gabby. It's Kristen Cochran and Sam Manti and Coach Glasso behind that group. But, you know, our defense is tough, and it's hard to score off of us.
Taryn?
I feel like what happens in a game is a result, and we don't really try to think so much about or get ahead of ourselves and think about the result. We think about what goes into each pitch and how to execute those pitches properly. And if a walk happens, a walk happens. It's what happens next that's the most important thing. So I didn't even realize I didn't have a walk until like 20 minutes ago. So, thanks. But it's all about just how mentally tough you are and how you handle the game.
Katie?
Coach Tar, why did you make the choice to start Taryn today?
I talked about it on TV. You probably didn't hear it, but no, it's fine. I'll just probably reiterate what I said. But we need her. Like, we are not where we are today without her. Gabby Plain has had a phenomenal season, and she's amazing too. We're not Washington without Taryn Alvello, and she has performed how she's needed to perform every time we've given her the ball, and she absolutely deserved to start this game today, no matter what was going to happen. And we're going to ride her just like we'll ride Gabby the whole way we have them. You're welcome.
Just one additional quick question for Tristan. When you saw the ball sailing towards you today, did you get a sense of deja vu?
No, not until afterwards. I mean, it happens so fast, you don't really think, it just happens.
Graham?
So for Coach, we know we're going to have one Pac-12 team in the final. We may end up with two. And obviously, this league has so much history. It's talked about all the time. But as a coach, week in and week out, what makes the Pac special circa 2018? What is it about right now about the league?
The players that we have in the conference make the players that we have in the conference better every day. And it's, I mean, 1 through, how many we have? 9 in our conference. It's hard. You just, it's really hard. And especially, you know, for us, we ran into 2 really good teams in a row in terms of Oregon and UCLA, and that was hard. And you kind of know that's going to happen, but you just got to keep it in perspective. And I think it's not much different than it has been in the past, but you speak to the health of UCLA, and when they're really good, I think everybody else is really good as well. I think just they're a traditional team that should be good. And when they're really good, I think everybody else is really good. But we're proud to be a part of our conference. There's nothing like it. I know people say there are others like it, but I can prove that because I've been involved in it for a long time, and it's hard.
Merritt?
I know you guys have the saying, mighty are the women. I don't know if you realize this is the first time that the final 4 head coaches have all been females.
Ooh. Power.
If you care to comment on that.
Yeah, I will. Julia might want to too, but
We go to UW.
yeah, we're not too, you know, we're not too averse to having women in leadership positions. I mean, obviously our president of the University of Washington, President Kause is a female. Our athletic director and her people with her, they're females. Jen Cohen and Erin O'Connell, they're sitting in the back. Chris Dawson's with us with the Pac-12. I mean, I just feel very prideful in just proving to our women that women can lead. You can lead with emotion. You can lead, you know, with wisdom. And, you know, gender's important, I think, only because women haven't tapped into the men's side of the game. I think, you know, the equal for us would be baseball. But, you know, until that happens, I feel like we have to continue to prove to the world that we can lead each other and we can be great with each other.
Julia, let's follow up on that a little bit. Why don't you talk about, as a student athlete, what it means to you to see females in positions of authority?
Prideful. I mean, I just take so much pride in just having, you know, a leader as a woman, you know, in our coaching staff. And, you know, she's, you know, her and Coach Witter, but she's our leader, you know. But then on to Jen Cohen. She's helped me in so many ways, you know, going on to my next step and, like, after. And same with Coach Tar. I'm going on to doing whatever I'm doing after this. You know, softball is great and everything, but they've helped prepare me and know that I can be a leader. And so I'm motivated to become a leader and just to try to be a role model for other females and other women, and even to boys too, to know that, you know, we can do it too, and that, you know, we're in power too. So we're just very fortunate to have 2 very strong and our president too, like, women to just show us the way. And so it just makes me so happy, and I could just go on, but just happy and lucky, and, you know, lucky for this opportunity to be here at the University of Washington, and just happy.
Time for one more. Oh, we're all good. All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.